So for this session in our EdTech Bytes, we're going to be going over ideas on how to detox your inbox. I'm actually here in our studio today, so I have the background. I didn't turn on lights to make it pretty. We're just going to go old school. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire slide deck. It actually does have little how-to images and stuff, since it is a quick bite session. Let's start here with the idea to unsubscribe. Please unsubscribe. I'll talk about filters a little later, but I do set up some filters so that way a lot of those types of emails either go to my promotions page, my social media page, or forum. So I'm going to go back to promotions because this is where I kind of let things run amok sometimes, but I do go through here and I unsubscribe often. So I feel really bad because Breeze Creative looks so cute. Like if you actually look at this site, but this is not something I want to have in my inbox right now. So I'm going to go down here. It's usually always at the very, very bottom of your emails. I'm going to do two things here. The first thing is I'm going to copy the email where this email came from. And then I can either go down here to unsubscribe from this list, or up here on the top, it will say unsubscribe. I'm going to unsubscribe. So yay, I've unsubscribed now. Sometimes if this one doesn't show up, you have to go through the unsubscribe in the email itself, and you're going to want to hit unsubscribe. Now, the reason I always like to copy where this came from is I'm going to search in my email who this was from. And the reason I do that is just so I can go here and delete all of those emails that are from that sender, because just because you unsubscribe to the most recent one doesn't mean that those emails are out of your inbox. Now, the next thing you are going to probably want to look at using are labels. Labels are Google's version of sort of folders, but what I like about labels is that you can have more than one label. Like this one has two labels on it as opposed to just one. Now, over time, I have created a variety of different labels here, and they all live on the side of my email. I'll try and zoom in so you can see them a little bit better. One of my favorite labels I've created are to-do labels that either stay living in my inbox, or if I click on that to-do label, I can see all of the different emails where I still have things that I need to complete or get done. Now, in your inbox, what you can do for a label is you go up here to labels, and you can create a new label. So you're going to want to name your label. I also like to keep my inbox very organized by nesting labels under another label. So I want request for support under trainings. If you notice, I put a number in front of this one as well as an emoji. Right click, and then that's how you can add an emoji. And then when you create that label right here, it's going to come up on your email. I have a lot of labels. But I like to nest them under each other so I can always open them up. Here, I'm going to go under trainings. This is where that label ended up right here. So now once you have that label created, you can go to these three dots. You can end up adding label colors. You can even customize them with a specific background color and text color for that specific label. Now, if you no longer want that label, you can go to these three dots and remove the label, but I'm going to actually show you another way that you can get rid of those labels here in another second for keeping your inbox clean. Now, the reason I really like labels is because it's a great way to clean out your inbox, because even though something is labeled here, you can select it and archive it. Now, if I click on that label, it's still going to show up where I can find it. It's just no longer taking up space in my inbox. Once you have those labels created, it's easy to right-click, label as a specific label right from your inbox. Right-click, go to label as a specific label right from your inbox, or you can search for them up on the top. You can select that specific label and hit apply. Or right from your inbox, you can just left click and drag that over to your label, and it'll automatically archive it and label it at the same time. That's also a great way to take out an email. You can move it back into your inbox. I have color coded all of my labels and numbered them based on importance, and then I actually nest a lot of the same very similar colored labels underneath that same label. Another thing to do is try and hide inboxes, or we can also talk about hiding labels. we're going to go here to settings, see all settings. We're going to start with inboxes. This is where if you hide promotions, social, or forum inboxes, all of those emails are going to go into your automatic inbox. Or you can turn some of these on, which had very specific emails that went into those inboxes. Another thing you can do is if you have labels that you've created in the past and are now archived, you can scroll all the way down here to labels and you can hide them. And then you can do that for other various systems as well. So I don't want to see my sent emails. I want to hide that. I hide spam and I hide trash. Now, this doesn't mean that it gets rid of those emails or that inbox. It just means here on the left, they're going to be under more as opposed to constantly staying on that left pane. Then when I go to inbox, I have emails that go to promotions, social, forums versus the emails that I feel are important to get in my primary inbox. So I'm actually going to skip to this right here, which is creating filters and auto forwarding emails. Going to go back to settings and see all settings, and you can create filters or you can forward emails. If you go to filters, you can create filters so those emails that seem to be from spam or from specific email groups can be automatically sent to those specific inboxes, or they can automatically be archived. So what I can do for that, I'm going to go over here to promotions, like Sticker Mule, great products, but I don't want that in my inbox. I'm going to click on this email. It's at stickermule.com. Select these three dots and filter messages like these. Now, any emails that come from this email, I want to create a filter for. I like having the ability to look up Sticker Mule deals, but I don't want them taking up my inbox. So I'm going to skip the inbox right away. I don't want it in there. And then I'm going to categorize this. So my category, instead of being my primary inbox, is going to be that promotions inbox. Now I can also apply that filter to 33 other conversations, and then I can create that filter. I'm not going to do that right now because I've already created that filter for Sticker Mule. So now when I go into my inbox, I don't have Sticker Mule emails in my primary. I know that they're always going to be here in promotions. If I know over a specific amount of time that these promotions are probably not good anymore, I can just go here in all of my emails and then I can delete all of them. Another element in settings is forwarding within a filter. So you can create a filter from a specific person. So if there's a specific log or something that comes in and that's not our department, but I tend to get that email often, you can create a filter and you can forward it to a forwarding address so that way it doesn't stay in your inbox. One of the biggest things that can really help in your inbox is archiving. When we talk about archiving, it doesn't stay in your inbox, but it's still around. So if you go here to all mail, this is any mail you've ever had. I have 30,000 emails over time, but instead of being in my inbox, it's going to be archived to all mail. Like I previously stated, you can create labels which allow you to archive all of that information, but it's going to keep them in categories within those folders. Some ways I like to archive to save me some time. I'm going to show you on this, my Google Meet last EdTech Byte. If I take this email and I write an email, in your Gmail settings, you can set it up that you can, instead of just sending and keeping it in your inbox, you can send and it will automatically archive. Now, if you're afraid of archiving this and not finding it, you can still go up here and add it to a label before you send and archive. The other thing, it's also important to know that when you send and archive an email, if someone replies back to you or responds back to that message, it's automatically going to be taken out of archived emails and it will show up as a brand new inbox email. Now, there's something called inbox bankruptcy. If you have a ridiculous amount of emails in your inbox, like 60,000, and you're like, I will never, ever get to the point where I am going to go through all of these emails, There is a suggestion where you just select all of your emails, you decide to declare inbox bankruptcy, you keep probably your first 50 emails, if that, and you just select this button and you archive them all. They're still going to be here in all mail. We've also had people do this in 2 to 3 month increments. If you haven't responded to anything or done anything in those emails, you go back and you archive those last 2 or 3 pages every 2 to 3 months. If you've read it and you don't need it, get in the habit of archiving it right away. And if it's a CC email and you believe like, I'm not even supposed to be on this, it's nothing important to me, archive it, label it, archive it. This is probably one of the best ways to keep your Gmail. Now let's talk to the 1 to 2 minute rule. Take 5 to 10 minutes a week where if you have an email that is a very quick response, then send that response right that minute, archive that email. This brings me to the idea of using templates. If you haven't used a template in your Gmail before, you may need to go to settings first, go to see all settings, and then go to advanced. You're going to want to enable your templates. Once you enable your templates and save changes, when you go to make an email, first of all, we're going to delete these signatures. I'll show you how to do signatures in 1 second. You want it blank, but you're going to want to type out an email that will be a template. Okay, you can even put the subject here. I'm going to make it a heart so we can tell where it is. And I'm going to say our template. Now you're going to go to these 3 dots here, go to templates. I have a whole lot of templates here, and you're going to save this draft as a template. It's going to want you to save it as a new template. So there's a couple of steps to go through. I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to close this out once. Now when I go to compose an email, you can go to these 3 dots now, go to templates, and now it's going to be saved here as a template. Okay, now once I have our template, it's going to put that information here. Now I can put recipients, and you're going to see that your email signature is going to be on the bottom. So that's why you want to keep that blank, and then you can just keep sending out those templates. Let's quickly talk about how we can take that new template to the next level, and that's using mail merge. So I'm going to go here to compose. I'm going to pop this out real quick, and I'm going to select that template again. Now, when you create templates moving forward, instead of where it says teacher's name, you can say at first name, at email. Okay. Now, the reasons I selected these is I have a spreadsheet that has a list of first names, last names, a school, and an email up here, and it's only on specific accounts, so it may not be every school account. But if you go up here to use mail merge, you can select mail merge and add it from a spreadsheet. So we're going to link this spreadsheet, which is my example, and we're going to select the email column for email. For first name, we're going to use first name. For last name, we're going to hit last name. I'm going to hit finish, and now it's going to say sample mail merge, but when I go to continue, I'm going to send all, and it's going to send that email filling in those blanks, giving individual emails. That's how you use templates. A couple of other things to consider for your inbox is make it a nice place you want to be. So we're going to set up email signatures to make things a little bit quick and easy. So in your inbox, go to settings, see all settings, and it's going to be under general. But down here, we're going to go to signatures. So in signatures, you can go here and insert images. You can add in your name, your information. You can even go here and select links. I've also inserted not just an image, but an animated GIF, which has all of my different badges and a Bitmoji. Once you've created all of those, then you scroll down and hit Save Changes. And now every time you write an email, it's going to have your email signature included. The final thing is to go here and you can go to themes, select an image from your photos or some that are automatically included in your Gmail. And that is customizing your inbox to where it makes it a little bit less dark and full of tears. So those are just some ways that you can detox your inbox. Hopefully you're going to get to inbox 0 sometime soon. I'm actually going to stop presenting, and thank you so much for coming. Please do know that we have a lot more EdTech Bytes coming up. Check out our YouTube channel, like and subscribe.